something more. What triggered that desire inside within you? What triggered that?
Well, the biggest desire was the not having anymore. Not having enough food, not having enough money, being in a war-torn country and being part of something that I don't want to be in. You have to make a decision, like a very firm decision that when is
Everyone, I am Sharika Swaby, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Sharika. And Kamal, could you pronounce your last name for me, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Kamal Al-Rasi. Al-Rasi is my last name.
Oh, okay, El Rafi. Okay, so Kamal is a consultant with Proctor Gallagher Institute, and that's Bob Proctor's mindset university, so to speak. And he's also an expert money mindset coach, and he as well was trained by Bob Proctor himself. And Kamal has two questions for you. Question one is, do you know what you really want? And question two is, do you have a big dream? So welcome, Kamal, to the show. It's a true honor to have you here with us today. And please go ahead and tell the people a little about you.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here with you. And thank you so much for the invite to speak with you and your audience and all your friends and colleagues. And I do want to thank everybody that's saying hi online here. Thank you all. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the love and the support. So yeah, I'm Kamal. I'm a mindset money coach, trained by Bob Proctor and Laura Langmeyer on how to make money, how to think and grow rich. Because a big part of it came down to thinking and growing rich, not just working. And I want to help as many as I can, like 1,000 of you, to really become and start doing what you really want to do. And the way we do it is by working with you on your mindset, helping you become something much bigger than what you are. You have it already. Your mind is a marvelous, amazing mind. And with my mentorship with Bob Proctor and Laurel, the sky is the limit. And I want this gift for every one of you. So it's amazing, amazing gift that we have. The material, the content, the sharing, the experience, and the results from the clients is just phenomenal. So I've been doing it for under a year with Bob Proctor and recently with Laurel, and it's just amazing. Sharika, you know, this information that's available, and now we can actually send it like this on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and with Zoom meeting that can really change the course of their life. So they can be more and do more. So just love it. I mean, the experience, I come from a manufacturing background, 19 years in the business, manufacturing, but it's those two questions that you said. What do you really want? What do you really want? And do you have a big dream? Once you start thinking big, the quality of your question, the quality of your life will change. So I'm here for question. Please, everybody, if you're joining, type your question in. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this conversation with you. So thank you so much for this amazing invite.
Myself too. I'm looking forward to it too. And you're welcome. And thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us. So I always like to get a little bit of background because the aim of the show really is to up-level mindset while showing people that it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what you did in your past. Anybody can really, really do this. So tell us a little bit about your past, your childhood, background information, and so on, so people can get to relate to you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely. Every one of you can do this. Every one of you is amazing. So I come from Lebanon, the Middle East, small, little, tiny country. And once I decided to want more, once I decided that that's it, it's time for me to step up, that's when I left the country. It was under a very strict regimen going on. I was 18. So I started asking, I want more. So I moved from there to to Canada in Toronto, and I did like everybody would do, like every one of you would just go to school, finish your degree, and I got an engineering degree, and because that's how we are taught. We are taught to become an employee. So you go and you just go to school, you get a certificate, you get a degree, and it's a good thing. Every one of you should go to school, and everybody should upgrade your level and your skill set, and you start making money that way. And from there, 19 years later, 5 degrees later, I was still barely breaking the, $100,000, $130,000 mark. And it's like, it's just not enough. Because if you want to help people, if you want to start giving, if you want to start giving back 10, 15% of what you're making, you're going to make some decent income.
Yeah.
So every one of you has to study and get up there. But really, To move your skill set to that next level, you got to think differently. If you keep thinking the way you're thinking right now, your results will stay the same. So with the
Yeah.
schooling, with the degrees, I did amazing in the industry, like really good work as an engineer. But with the mentorship with Bob and Laurel, things have changed. Things have shifted. And that's what I want for every one of you. So it doesn't matter what your degree, it doesn't matter what you are, if you're making 10,000, 20, 30, or 40, or 100, or a million. It's all mindset. It's all that way of thinking. And the best part of it is that you have it. All you have to do is just need that switch.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, based on what you just said, what caused that desire for you to want to leave from Lebanon and wanting something more? What triggered that desire inside within you? What triggered that?
Well, the biggest desire was the not having anymore. Not having enough food, not having enough money, being in a war-torn country and being part of something that I don't want to be in. You have to make a decision, like a very firm decision that when is the time for you? And every one of you will have to make that decision. Now, you don't need to leave a country like I did. You don't need to leave, your family like some people will have to do. But you have to make a firm decision and move towards your goal. You have to let go of the past. If you say you want this more thing, you want this better life, and yet you're still living it, you're still in it, it's not going to change. So you make an amazing
Yeah.
decision. You got to make that decision like a separation. It's like not just an incision, it's a decision, it's a separation. So I started asking, I want more. I want more abundance, food, water, homes, money. And it wasn't going to happen in Lebanon. It just was not going to be the case. It was like 89, 1990. So you make a
Yeah.
decision that is very strong decision. You have to learn to make good, strong decisions that would move you to a better state. And every one of you
I
will have to
agree.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. You have to do it just
I
for a
agree a
job, for
hundred
example.
percent.
And
I've
sometimes
always
it's
said
hard
it.
to leave
I've
a job.
actually, yeah, I actually have that in my coaching program. This is power of decision because it's simply deciding that you don't want to be someplace anymore. You don't want to be a part of that situation. You don't want to live that life. You just don't want that. And then from that decision, then come action. So that's really amazing. So what was it like when you got to Canada? What was that like?
So once you make that decision and you move, you have to start getting immersion. You have to really get yourself all in. You cannot move to a new place and still live in the old place, in your mind and in your
Mindset.
condition and situation. You have to get full
Yeah.
immersion. So you have to do what the others are doing. You have to be a follower to become a leader. See, all leaders are
Mhm.
followers. So you have to follow what the new way is. And that could be your new job, your new country, your new business. You cannot do a new business the way you do an old business. So you come in, I came into Toronto, and I have to adapt. And you have to adapt quick. How do you adapt quick? You start listening, you start asking questions. You start raising your skill set and become good at something. Like every one of you out there listening, become good at something. Fall in love with one thing that you want to be good at. One thing. Don't pick 20. You can pick the 19 later, but start with one and start following some amazing leader who are ahead of you and doing it, and just adapt to what they do. Now, that does not mean you're not a leader. You're a good follower. And as a good follower, you're going to become that leader because then people are going to believe on you. So that's what I did. Started following my dreams and what I really wanted to do. Ask for help. Ask for a lot of help. Now, you got to get adapted and okay with asking for help. Most of you have so much pride, you won't even raise your hand if you're lost. So raise your hand and say you need help. There's so many people that are willing to help you, but you have to step up and you have to want. You have to want it. Like nobody's coming. I mean, some people sit on the fence line and they wait and
Yeah.
they're waiting, and you think Santa's coming. Santa's only coming when you're a baby. Once you pass that 4 or 5 year old, Santa's not coming.
Yeah, that's true. No one's coming. That's definitely true. And a lot of people, unfortunately, are still waiting to be rescued, waiting for a savior, waiting for God, waiting for
Yeah.
various things. But no, but not even God is coming. You have to get up and meet God halfway for Him to actually come to you. So nobody's coming.
It's so
That is
good.
definitely
You
true.
know, I use this metaphor, for example. Praying is great. Praying is asking God for something that you want and you're talking, but you got to move your feet. So wishing
Yeah.
and hoping and praying is great. You have to be positive and you have to be amazing. It starts, but move your feet, take
Mhm.
action, and start taking
Yeah.
risks. We are born risk takers. So I took that risk, leaving a whole country, the whole family, the situation, and you move and then create something bigger and better. So take that risk and
Was that,
jump. Don't stay on the fence.
yeah. Was that
Go ahead.
scary for you though? Was that moving from Lebanon to a whole new country, different beliefs, different, completely different? Was that scary? What was that like?
Oh, it's definitely scary, leaving a place, not knowing if you're going to come back, which is just a small backpack, right? You don't know if you're going to come back. You don't know what's going to happen. And yes, you will feel that terror because you start reasoning with it. Is it the right decision? Is it going to be worse?
Yeah.
However, you got to stay on the positive because everything is what it is. We make it what it is, right? We make it good or bad. So
Right.
it was scary. It is scary. And you go through this terror barrier, just like any decision that you're making. So this example that me leaving, this could be something for somebody that's listening, that they're about to take a new position. They're about to start a new venture. They're about to start a new mentorship and they're too scared. Why are you scared? That's natural. That's your mind. That's your old you. Even though it's bad, the old you does not want you to move to that next better version of you. It's holding you in bondage. It's like you're in
Comfort
jail.
zone.
Comfort zone, even though
Yeah.
it's bad. And that's why you'd find so many people stay in bad relationships because they figure the new one's going to be just as bad, or they stay in bad jobs,
Yeah.
or they won't even. So you have to know, you have to be positive and become it. And it is scary, but I can teach you that. And one of the modules in Thinking into It All, we call it the terror barrier. We teach people how that feeling is because it doesn't matter what your level. And by level, if I use numbers, if you're at $10,000 level or 100,000 or a million, for another level, there's another level. Once you want to move to a different level, you're going to feel that fear. You're going to have
Right.
that scary thing, but that's normal. That's your person, you're inside you, you're protecting you. That's very important. But you learn how to control it and you learn how to use that power.
So you were in a different field. You had several degrees, and you were there for 19 years. I imagine you would have done some leveling up, and you would have continuously advanced yourself. But what caused you to want to try something different, to do it differently? What brought that on?
So that's a very good question, and thank you for that. What triggered it? The key was when I started to want to give. So think about it. You're supposed to give 5, 10, 15% just as a natural thing to your community, to your church, to your God, friends, those who are in need, right? Maybe even 20%. And it came to like, all right, I'm already making six figures, but I cannot put that 10,000, that, 1,000, 2,000 a month to give away. But how is that? So you look around. I was like, how is that possible? 5 degrees later, and I still not able to do that. How is that possible? But you look around, some others were doing it. Some others just like me, same color, maybe more hair. That's about it. They're able to do it. Somehow they figured it out.
Yeah.
So start asking those questions. I want more. Like, how can I do more? How can I give more? When, so that's like, I want more. So you have to dream big. So you move your dream to a bigger dream. That's what you got to do. You got to move your dream to a bigger dream. Start getting scared. Start really, you call it leveling up, but really go somewhere where you've never gone. Because if you say you want to make 50,000, that's what you'll make. If you say you want to make 80,000, that's what. So I went back in my mind and I mapped it over the last 15 years. With every number, with every level, that's exactly what I asked for. That's what I got. So I started asking bigger questions. Why don't I make 200,000? Why don't I make
Right.
300,000? So you got to ask for it, and then it will come. That was the key. The key was once you start to want to give more, the universe will give you back. But you have to move your feet.
Yeah.
You got to take action, and you got to seek those who are doing it to learn from them. Don't do it by yourself. It doesn't happen. With my mentor Bob Proctor, and he's 87. He's doing it for 61 years. He said he's never seen anybody doubling, tripling, 10 timing their income on their own, or shifting their paradigm, like we call it, to become that next version. It's very, very
Right.
rare. Very rare. It's possible with 10, 20, 30 years, but by then you're going to be 70, 80, 90-year old. What are you going to do with that?
Yes.
You want to do it now and
Mhm.
start living the life you dream now. You don't want to wait. Why wait? Because you just have to look around and others are doing it. So you have to step
Yeah.
up.
And it's much harder when you do it on your own.
Absolutely. You need the
What do you
community. You need the friendship. You need the group. You need that, what I call a mastermind. You need to see some of the clients that are actually, I know when you go to my site and you can see the testimonials, you can see how in a group, even though they've been in real estate for the last 15, 20 years, but suddenly in few months with me, the results shifts. Suddenly, once I joined Bob group and he's mentoring me once a week, your results will start shifting because you just switch. It's a 95% mindset, 5% stress, not the degrees. So it wasn't the 5 degrees. Now, I'm not saying degrees are not needed. School is sacred and you
Yeah.
should go to school. But that's not what's going to make the money. If you look around for all those who made the big money, it was not the degrees. It was a different way of thinking, mindset.
Yeah. And the degree keeps you in a box without the correct mindset. You're kind of in a box with a degree. And then, unfortunately, for so many people, the perception is if you don't have a degree, if you didn't go to school, if you didn't go to a high caliber school,
Mm-hmm.
all is lost.
That's so true. The degree is entitled to give you skill sets, so you learn something in some field, but it's designed with the system to keep you as an employee. Now, once you want to go to that next level, so the degree is going to help you to start generating that income. What I call making money. You got to make money somehow, so you can make money as
Right.
an employee. What if you can make money as a cash business, like some kind of marketing, some kind of product that you're selling? Then you start making the money. But the degree is not going to teach you how to keep that money. Because as a wealth builder, as I teach people to become millionaires, just like Laura is teaching me, when you make money, how do you keep it? Because if you don't know how to keep it, you're going to be taxed 30, 40, 50% on it. So the degree just gives you just a little inclination. Then you're going to learn differently how to keep that money. And then once you keep that money, what do you do with the money? Where do you invest it? Where do you invest it? How to do it? So you have to think differently. You can't just put it in the 401k plan or some kind of RIA and pray, right? Praying is good, but you got to move your feet. You got to think differently. And that's what the system is so messed up. It gives you a degree, it gives you a technical skill, but does not give you a way to make real money, big money.
That is true. And then, but what would you tell someone if they were afraid to switch from being an employee to being self-employed? So say they see that it's a possibility, but they're afraid of taking that step and moving from having someone pay you than having a business where you're paying yourself. What would you tell someone like that?
It's a very good question. So it's a process that you go through. First thing, have a conversation with somebody that's doing it. So, and these conversations, they're usually free in the first part where it's like a discovery call. Have that conversation. But by no means don't think that you need to leave your job to start something from scratch, from nothing. No. You have to figure out what are you good at. What is that one thing? Yes, you're working 40 hours a week with that job. But your passion, your desire is telling you you need to become a photographer expert. You need to become a marketing expert. Well, start. I want you to take that step. You're telling me you want to be a hairdresser or whatever it is. Do you have one client? Are you willing to step out on Saturday and spend 3, 4 hours learning this new skill? Yes, you want it, but take that step. Now, if you can't take that step, somebody can help you, like yourself or myself, to take that step, to break that fear. But you got to start. You start doing it one day. Now, that's the big one. And listen to this one. Habits. You got to change habitually what you want to do on the habit side, because you're not used to thinking. You're not used to doing extra work for this making money, or you're not doing this extra hour or two on Saturday, on Sunday for this business venture that you want. So stay with your current job, but you got to be willing to give up the TV. You got to be willing to stay away from the negative people. You got to be willing to divorce all this negative stuff. It could be your family members, it could be your sister, it could be your brother, because they don't believe in you. They don't believe it.
Yeah.
But all you have to do is just look at their results. Just look at their results. They don't want you to leave them. As soon as you tell one of your family members you want better for yourself, you're crazy. Are you going to go try this thing? Are you going to go try that network marketing job or whatever thing? No, why are they saying that? Because they have not figured it out and they don't want to be left alone. So you start with 1 hour a day. I'm going to work on this new business for 1 hour, half an hour. I don't know, whatever is your number. and do it for two,
Yeah.
3 days and start. But like you said earlier, join a group, join a team that is marching in the same way as you are marching. So you see, notice, for example, in the military, right? They don't train you by yourself to become a soldier, right? They train you as a group, as a team, like a band together, 5, 10, 15, 20
Yeah.
people, so
Support.
that you
You have a
see others
support
are doing it.
system.
Support. That's so important. You got to get on a team somewhere. And there are some teams for free, there are some teams for money. You can get that training very, very easily, very quick. And learn how to make money. You got to learn how to make money. You know, it could be a hobby that makes you a lot of money and be in love with it. Like, you have to find that thing that you are in love with, because to wake up every day and do something day in, day out, without getting
Mm-hmm.
tired, without getting frustrated, you have to like what you're doing. You have
True.
to like what you're doing.
That is true. It's interesting, right? Because you said, get up and do it. Do something that you love. The common tendency, not a lot of people do what they love, because the common premise is the things that you love cannot provide for you. So parents tell their kids they can't do music because they can't make money from that,
Yeah.
or they can't do art because art is not a job. That's what people tell their kids, and it takes a lot of mental shift to go from, okay, I'm a teacher or I'm a nurse, and I'm not saying anything is wrong with any of these careers. These are awesome careers. And if that's what you love, that's what you should do, and do it to the best of your ability. Give it your 100% if that's what makes you happy. But if it's
Yeah.
not what makes you happy, and if you want to go and climb mountains, you should do that, shouldn't you? You should absolutely do that.
Absolutely. You should do what you're in love with. You should figure something out. It doesn't need to be fancy. It could be something so simple. We just came from a 3 days millionaire training and mindset and matrix and teaching people how to make money and keeping it. And this kid, he's now 21, but he started at the age of 17, just
Mhm.
playing with 3D printers. You can buy a 3D printer for $200-300. And he just started
Mhm.
printing ornaments, little ornaments for Christmas trees. And these little things that you print them, and then people started liking them. People start, then you start selling it. Another lady that's doing tea, she sells tea. In under 3 years, she's in the $9-10 million. It's just crazy. Like, so fall in love with something and start. You don't know what's going to happen next. You just have to start. Start something that you're in love with. You take that step. And if you don't know how, ask yourself. Write down and let calm and ask yourself, how am I going to get there? How am I going to get this $100,000? How am I going to get this product launched? When you ask yourself, the answers will come. And once you start studying mindset and connecting with people who are in the same world as you, and you're being open, you have to be open. If you're going to go into it
Yeah.
guarded and you're staying with your old decisions, with your old strategies, you're not going to go anywhere. Why? Don't trust me. Just trust your result. Look at where you're at today. So all you have to do for every
Yeah.
one of us is ask yourself, am I happy with my results? And if you're not happy with your current results, you're going to have to do something different. And you start with that one
Right.
thing. That first product that you get into might not be the one that's going to make you the money, but the second one or the third one or the fourth one. Like, another way, I think you asked me earlier, how did I get into this? When I started to want to be more, make more money, I started with an Amazon business. Some product, I hear everybody putting stuff on Amazon. Like, all right, well, that's cool. So I got one product, and within a month, it was on Amazon. I was making some money, but I wasn't in love with it. It was okay. I can buy it. It comes in, goes to FBA, and they do the shipping, and people were buying, and but I wasn't in love with it. That was not it. So that makes the money, but I didn't like it. It wasn't a thing. So find something that you love to do. You never know where's it going to take you.
Yeah. I like that. But I'm curious. How did you find Bob Proctor? I know he's in Canada, you're in Canada, but
Hmm.
was it a jump up and say, okay, I'm going to do this? Did someone invite you? How did you find Bob Proctor?
Very good question. Very good question. So like I said, I was looking for something very specific when I found Bob. I was looking to how to make decisions fast. So even if you have the degrees and you have the technical and you have the problem solving, but many people will not decide fast. And I was one of those. Left brain, analysis, paralysis, all the graphs, all the charts, all the rep, but you can't make a decision fast. Perfectionist, right? I wanted to learn what's the art of decision making, making it fast, right? I'm not talking about the decision tree, yes, no, you go this way, that. You have to, in your mind, make the decision fast. So I wanted somebody to teach me that. I wanted somebody to help me shift my paradigm to start being okay with making $1 million. And now some people might be like, what are you talking about? I'm okay with being $1 million. And I would say, no, you're probably not. Because you have to be comfortable with money. You have to be comfortable with money coming to you. If you're not at peace with money, if you're not in that energy and frequency of money, it's not going to come to you. And then goal setting and achieving. So I look at who am I going to go with. So I tried with Tony Robbins. No, nothing with Tony. I love Tony. I love his books. I've read his book back in the 90s. But with Tony, you get something that will energize you for a day or two or a week. But then you lose that momentum. You lose that momentum.
Right.
So from that, my research led me to Bob. Bob has been doing it for 61 years. He's 87. He's studying the book Think and Grow Rich, and that's the book that I like. And with that, with Napoleon Hill's help and Earl Nightingale and Bob, you shift your thinking permanently. Habitually, you start changing because you want to wake up every day like you do, and you're happy, you're amazing, positive attitude. How do you do it? Even though you can have bills, you can have issues with your mortgage, you can have issues with your car, but yet you're positive and you're ambitious and you're happy and amazing. How is that possible? It's just changing that subconscious mind, changing on the habit side, so that every day you're the amazing person that you are. And who's doing that? Bob Proctor. So I wanted the opportunity to be with him while he's still doing this. And that's how I came across Bob and decided to study with him. And after studying for 2 months, I said, you know what? I can help a lot of people. Because I don't want to just help myself. Because remember how it started. I wanted to give more and be able to give that $1,000, $2,000 a month. That's about helping others. So being in Bob's mentorship, I started figuring out the goal setting, the decision, how you decide quick. I said, I can help a lot of people. Because so many are sitting on a golden egg, but they have no idea that if they just make that one decision, if they just meet that one person, if they just look left or right and meet that next individual in whatever, in the Uber ride, downtown, coffee shop, that could be their next connection to their next business or next relationship. And that's how it works. And sky's the limit. Now I have an amazing group, amazing client group that are doing fantastic. I'm so proud of every one of them. Their results are just incredible. And they're just loving it. It's just a lot of fun.
It's goal setting is truly amazing, because I think for me, what I've seen in my own life is when you set, what I like to say is vision pulls. When you set that goal, for some reason, it tends to put you in the place that is going to help you to manifest whatever you want to create. And that's why you can't set itty-bitty goals. You have to really set big goals, because if you set small goals, you're going to accomplish small things. So don't be afraid to set big goals, right?
Yeah.
It might seem daunting. It will seem daunting because it's not something you're used to. I read, one of the first books I read was Think and Grow Rich. And was one of the first books when I started on this journey myself. And I just set a big goal, like a huge goal. And I didn't let the fact that it's a huge goal, it's nothing that I used to, it seems like a giant, a mammoth task to even accomplish it. But I completely ignored that. And for a while I didn't do anything. And then I started doing some things, and then I can see how things are gradually lining up to get me to where I want to get to. So you really need to set big goals. I agree with that 100%, and then that goal will pull you towards itself. Like
that's so beautiful.
Yeah. The universe
and that's what we want.
to give you what you want. Yeah.
That's what you want. You want to set a big goal that scares you. If your goal is not scaring you, you're not reaching big enough. Like the Wright brothers from Dayton, Ohio. I'm in Cincinnati. How did they get a plane off the ground? They were bicycle mechanics. Whole governments were not even able to put a plane in the air. They were bicycle mechanics. They made a
Right.
plane go in the air. Excuse me. Richard Branson, he just gone up to space and came back down. When he was a kid, 37 years ago, he wanted to go in space and came back down. Look how big that goal is. Little kid telling
Yeah.
himself, I want to go to space and come down. 37 years later, now he's doing it. Elon Musk. Now everybody will say, oh, these people are lucky and they got, no, they're not lucky. They're just like you and I. They just think differently. You set big goals. And the universe is going to give
That,
you what it's going to take. That's the key. Let
yeah.
go of the how. Let go of the how. You get what you want, something you are in love with. Don't worry about the how. The law of attraction and the law of success is going to show you the how. And that's why we say in our training with Bob, you tell me what you want, I'll show you how to get it. Now, that's not me showing you how to get it. You're going to find out. The universe is going to give you that. That's how the law of attraction works. That's how the law of success is going to come to your aid. Now, you have to be in love with the goal. You have to move your feet. You have to wake up every day and do certain things in a certain way. See, rich people do things and successful people in a certain way. And that's how it works. And it's going to take time? Yeah. How much? As long as it takes. Whatever. If you're in love with it, so much if it takes 2 years or 3 or 10. That's what you want. You want it to pull you. Set big goals. I give another example on goals. If you're driving a Honda Accord right now and your goal is to buy a Camry, that's not a good goal. Well, that's the same thing, you know. That's the same thing. You're trading one for the other. Your goal should be, I want to get a Mercedes-Benz. I want to get a nice, luxury BMW or something.
Yeah.
You got to move up, right? And I say it that way because you need to stretch yourself. You have amazing powers waiting within you. You just have to stop being scared and move. And we can help you do that. That's what mentors do. They would stretch your ability. We just lend you that belief. Borrow that belief from somebody if you don't have it within you. Borrow the belief.
And
Beautiful
I
question.
have a question for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I have a question for you. Well, something you said reminds me of this. About a year, well, not quite a year, probably 9 months or so ago, I created what I call the happiness challenge, right? And I created that because I figured out that one of the keys to success is maintaining a high vibration. And the people are not usually maintaining a high vibration because, one, they're still holding on to the past. They're still hurting in so many different ways. They're playing victims, and they are doing a host of other things that is in opposition to what they might want to create. Now, if you were to be approached by a client like that, how would you help them to transition into the state that you previously described, where they get up joyful and full of funk and ready to take on the day?
I love that. Another beautiful question. And that's why we do studying. So there's a couple of things that need to happen to that prospect, to that potential client. First, you got to be willing, right? Once you become willing to do what it takes, because you have to let go of that old story. You got to be willing. And you raise your hand and say, yeah, I need that help. Okay? We're going to pick one thing. We're going to start with habitually changing you with one thing. You cannot change 20 things at the same time. You cannot wake up from one day to the other, go from being miserable, upset, sad, depressed, to that fully cheerful. But we're going to start working it. We're going to pick one thing to help you change. And within 10 days, if you start studying with me, or somebody like me that does this mindset coaching, you can switch. You can have that shift very, very quick. But you have to do some things in a certain way. There's a reason why people don't get success and changes, because they're holding on to their old beliefs. They're going to to a YouTube channel. They're going to somewhere downloading a PDF, doing it on their own. They're not getting somebody to borrow them and lend them that belief, Somebody has to see where you're at and move you over. It's like you got to cross the river. How do you cross the river by yourself when you don't know how to swim, the current is high, and you're about to drown? Somebody has to help you cross. So you have to change.
I agree.
One thing at a time. We do it habitually, and then we move you. But you got to be willing. You have to let go of that story. And I don't say it lightly. Like, I totally get it. Some people have gone through COVID. Some people lost jobs. Some people lost family members. Some people have been abused. Some people have been mistreated at work. And it's not like you can erase all that overnight and say, "Oh, I'm happy now. All the stuff is gone." It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
But you know what? I teach every one of my clients that you have the power to decide. You can make it so. Everything is what it is, and we make it so. Any situation, you wake up and your car is stolen, gone, demolished. You have a choice. Is that a good thing or bad? To me, it's a good thing. I'll get another car. To some people, it's the end of the world. What the hell are they going to do? Right? You wake up and there's something wrong with your house. Is that a good or bad? We teach you how to change, how to think. Everything is happening for you, not to you. That's the key. But how do you get it? You need somebody to teach you. You need that routine. You need that doing certain things in a certain way, 1 or 2 habits at a time, and then you're going to become amazing. Then you wake up and you have a smile on your face every day. Grateful, thankful. Because when you're grateful, things will start happening. When you're thankful, things will start happening. I hear another similar when people say, no opportunities come to me. No interesting people ask me anything. I'm just by myself. I'm like, well, are you interesting by yourself? If you want to meet interesting people, become interesting. Become amazing. If you want to meet amazing people, you have to become that individual. So I will say just to that individual, if you're thinking like that, you're ready. You're just holding yourself back and you need to step up. And you're going to raise your hand and say, you know what? Help me. I'm ready. You are able. I know you. Every one of them is able. Now, it's the key. Are you willing? It's like you said earlier. You got to be willing to let go of the story and build a new one. That's coming from Tony Robbins, one of his sessions. You let go of the story. I love old stories. It's all good that we've all gone through transitions, and I've gone through wartime and all. But do I still live it? No, it's there. It's like a little memory bank. I only look at it when I need to. But you build a new model. You build a new model. And I teach that with Psycho-Cybernetics, Maxwell Maltz on Monday nights. It's an amazing book that we're studying.
I love that one too. Love that one too. All right, we are winding down, and
All right.
What are 3 things that you do on a daily basis to ensure that you wake up happy, to ensure that you stick to your routine, and to ensure that you're in the right space mentally?
Wow, another good question. Well, the 3 things that I do, maybe more than 3, but the 3 that you do to contain this energy and have this energy come out, because energy comes to and through you, and we glorify the energy and magnify it. So 1, I study every day. Now, I'm not studying math and science and chemistry and physics anymore. I study mindset material by people that I respect and admire, like the book Think and Grow Rich. The material that I have from Bob Proctor on thinking into results, I study every day. It doesn't matter what happens. Rain, shine, no money, yes money, whatever. I got to study every day. 25, 30 minutes. So study every day. The other thing, I write my goals down and what am I grateful for. I write my goal and I put a date on it. You got to write your goal down and you breathe life into it. You actually create the result by writing it down, but you got to believe it. So when you write, everybody writes their goal, oh yeah, I want $1 million. But they're already not believing it. Write it like you believe it. Put yourself in that spirit. Write it like you believe it. Okay? So do that. And be grateful for what you have. Because when you're grateful, it keeps getting better and better and better. And you could be grateful for the $10 that you have, the $100, the $1 million, the 2 clients, the 1 client, the loaf of bread that you have, the water, the clean, the roof. You could be grateful that you have a pair of shoes, even though they're old. So you could be grateful for anything, but start becoming that. We become what we think about. So start coming into that environment. So, and these are things that we train and educate our prospect to develop this habit. And habitually you want to change and keep learning every day. That's the 4th thing I say, keep learning. Learn something every day. Learn something to get you better. Become really good at what you're doing. That's all you have to worry about. Become really good. And so I hope that helps.
My guest last week, that was really good. That was really good. My guest last week, we spoke about gratitude, and we talked about how to practice gratitude. I'd love to hear your version of how to practice gratitude.
How to practice, or what I write for gratitude?
How to practice gratitude, because I know there's a way to just go through it, go through the motions of writing. I'm grateful for this,
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful for this, and there's a way to do it right. So
Yeah.
I want to hear what's your way to do it right.
Absolutely. So the other thing that we train our clients, and it has to do with being right, has to be, you have to become responsible. So you have to step up to say, I am responsible for my own results. When you're asking for more and a better life, you have to say, I'm responsible for what I am. You're responsible for your results. And now to do that, you become intentional. I'm grateful for the friends that I have, and I mean it. I don't just say it. I'm grateful for my mentors, right? I mean it because my mentors gives me things I've never had before. I'm grateful for my house because I mean it. I love my house. It's great. I'm grateful for my family, but I really mean it. So you gotta stop faking it. Like this fake it till you make it. It's not really true. You gotta mean it intentionally and believe it. Make it come from, don't just write somebody's gratefulness because Richard Branson said he's grateful. No, what are you grateful for? You have to feel it. You gotta connect with that emotion. And
Right.
it's gonna come. Connect with that emotion and be honest with yourself that what, and if you have nothing that you're grateful for, then we need to have that conversation. I can prove it that you are grateful for many things and make you aware.
Well,
Because that's what
yes.
so these are the
I
key
always
thing, you
like to
know?
say, right. I always like to say, if you get up and you're gonna write something, you can't find anything to be grateful for. Start with being alive. The fact that you're here means you have something to be grateful for. And the fact
Absolutely.
that
The
you have
fact that you're here.
friends and toes. Yeah. The
Yeah,
fact
and
that you're here
it
is
might be not
something.
a lot. Like it might be not a lot, but so what? What is a lot? It's all relative. You know,
True.
lot, high or low is just opposite of each other. It doesn't matter. Even when you have 1,000, you're gonna need 10,000. When you have 10, you're gonna need 100. At every level is another level. You see, we become more of who we are, right? So if you want to earn more money, if you want to be more happy, you're just gonna become more of who you are. So let's make you right now the way you are, the best version of you. And the money and the success is just gonna glorify more of who you are. And you have to get that.
Right.
See, if you're a miserable person now, even if I give you $1 million, you're going to be a bigger miserable person. But if you're a happy person now, amazing you, with another
Mhm.
$1 million in the bank or $10 million, whatever is your number, you're going to be that much more amazing.
Icing on the cake. Yeah, that definitely. I
That's the
agree with that
key.
100%. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Okay, my final question for you. I know, I believe Bob Proctor is big on affirmation, right?
Hmm. Yeah, he is. He is
So
big on
what?
affirmation.
Right. And he's one of the first persons that I came across when I started studying mindset as well. I downloaded his book, You Were Born Rich, and I listened to his content. So I dived into a lot of his stuff as well. And to be honest, and I think this is important that I share, when I first started working on myself, diving into mindset, some of the ideas were so foreign that mentally I resisted.
Hmm.
Mentally I resisted because it was a completely new concept, a new idea, but I think the desire for more overrides the foreignness of the idea. And I kept going back and I kept reading more and I kept going back and I kept wanting more and I kept writing goals and I kept writing affirmations.
Yeah.
Until now, nobody can tell me anything different. So I thought that was necessary to share. Maybe someone needs to hear it. But initially, the new ideas are going to be foreign to you. Your mind is going to resist, going to put up some walls. But once you keep at it, those walls will eventually come down.
Absolutely.
I think.
Absolutely. It's so correct. Like, I want to teach everybody to set big goals. However, let's say if somebody's goal is $1 million, if they've never earned $10 in their life, they're going to reject the idea. So your goal, yes, I want to have that $1 billion. You're going to affirm it every day that that's what you want. But what are we working on today? If you've never sold $10 worth of goods, let's work on that. And then after the 10, we're going to work on 20. And after the 20, we're going to work on 100. So we're going to do what we call
Right.
base camp leveling up, right? So you start believing, because these ideas, as you impress it on your subconscious mind, you will reject them, because you cannot believe it. But you have to suspend the how and start working your way from where you are to base camp and keep moving up that mountain. So imagine that a mountain that you're climbing. We want that big goal, we want that big prize. But these new ideas, the new information, you might reject them so quickly because you're not used to it. Well, let's put actions this week for how we can get to start believing in yourself. And that could be making that first sale. Some people, want to sell, but they never sold anything in their life. Well, let's sell one item first. And then after you sell one item, you can sell 2 items. Then after 2 items, that can help you sell 4 items. And then we build it. And you know what? Then once we put a process in place and a system, you're going to start selling a lot of items. And you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Now, it's a critical matter of, getting out there, letting go. And all you have to do is just, as I tell all my clients, look at your current results right now. Your results are a manifestation of what you've been doing. You want the bigger thing and the better things. For these things to change, you have to change. If that's just the way it works. So.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, so what are those affirmations that you use daily in order to keep yourself where you need to be?
Well, as I said, I take my goals, but on one of the affirmations that I'm using daily, it has to do with sales. So you have to attract the right people to yourself every day. So, for example, one of the affirmations I have, I'm so happy and grateful now that I make sales easily every day on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that I do TIR sales every day easily on a continuous basis. And it just comes, it starts coming. Because so many resist the idea of sales. They think it's like, oh my God, it's so hard. But to me, once I started doing that, it becomes easy. Because sales is equal service. Sales is equal income. So you have to connect, why are you selling? But believe in what you're selling. Believe that what you have is a gift. If what you're selling is a piece of garbage, you got to get rid of it and get something good. And help somebody with something good. You cannot, like I said, you have to be in congruence and integrity with what you're doing. You have to believe in what you have. So if I believe that thinking into results can really change your life, and I do, I have no problem selling it to you. I have no problem saying, hey, it's going to double your income, and I feel good about it. But in the beginning, everybody will resist that new thing. So you could affirm anything you want. Don't make it complicated. Don't copy anybody else's. Affirm what you want at this time. And don't do 20, 30, 40 affirmations. God sakes. Pick 1 or 2 things. Let's get 1 or 2 things to work, because all it takes is 1 or 2 experiences to become real, and then you start believing in this love. That's what you need. You need that win-win. I got to help you get that one win. One win. It could be 5 workouts a week. People have a difficulty going to the gym, it seems, even though they want to lose the weight and they cry about it. But you don't want to. Well, why? So we can change that.
Anything is possible.
Everything is possible. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
Right.
And I love that book that you mentioned.
Which one?
Rich. I'm just about to start a reading club on the You Were Born Rich, and it's going to be like a paid group where we study the book 1 chapter a week. That's going to be in the new year. It's an amazing book written by Bob, and we're going to be once a week, 1 hour studying it. So that would be a total of 3 books I have so far. Think and Grow Rich is 1, Psycho-Cybernetics, and You Were Born Rich. Just phenomenal. And it's an easy way for people to step out and start doing something. Like, that's the other thing. Maybe I'll add that before we go, because so many write notes down and they keep collecting information, and they have information and more information. And a conversation like this would make them feel good. Oh yeah, that sounds good. That seems right. But the libraries are full of information. The libraries are full of information. Do you see any librarian that's rich and big successful? Very, 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 very few. So it's about taking action. So I want everybody that's listening, take an action. Do something with this information. Do me a favor and take an action for you to help you. Don't worry about me helping me. Help yourself. Like, take the action. Anything you listen to, decide, is this helping me or not? Reject it. Take action. It's so important, because that's what I do. enable people to take action to improve themselves on a daily basis. So important.
Right. I got that wrong the first time. I think I missed the action part because for a long time I did it by myself, and you
Yeah,
can do it by yourself. But as Kamal said, it takes so much longer. It takes much longer because if I had known that, I didn't even know that there were coaches out there when I started. Because where I'm from, this is not a thing really. It's a thing, but for a different class of people from where I was. So it was foreign to me. The whole idea was foreign to me, and the idea of having a coach wasn't anywhere in my sight. But if you can find someone to help you get there, find someone to help you get there, because you get there so much faster. You get there so much faster because I think it's the exchange of energy, and as Kamal said, you need someone to lend you their belief.
absolutely.
Someone to lend you their belief.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, you want to change for the better and change fast in 2-3 months, get a coach, get a mentor. And everybody's going to be like, oh, who should I get? It doesn't matter who you get. Get somebody you like. Get somebody that you resonate with. They're not going to be the right one the first
Right.
time. Like I said, it was 2-3 people until I found Tony Robbins. And then that was not the one. Now it's Bob. And now with Bob, it's amazing. But now I have, excuse me, Laurel Langmeyer. So you change and you grow and you become like it's the first one is not going to be the right one, but it doesn't matter. Just get on the journey, take the action, find somebody and doing it, and then just get on with it. Because reading a book by yourself, then loading the PDF, and you think you're going to improve, you will improve 10, 20 years later. But I want you to improve this year. I want this Christmas to be the best for every one of you, and this 2022 to be amazing. So you get a mentor, you double your income. Like I said, 19, 20
That's
years,
right.
and then in less than a year, you double, triple your income. It's just, the sky is the limit.
Sky's the limit. All right, Kamal. It was so good to have you here with us this evening. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, everyone who joined us. I hope you got some value from everything that was said, because I got a lot of value. I got a lot of things confirmed that I already believed in. So I hope somebody out there got something that they needed to get them to tomorrow and the rest of the week and possibly the rest of the year. If you need more, come back next week. I'll be here next week with another amazing guest. And we will still be talking about money and mindset, because the purpose of this mission is to help to uplevel the consciousness of society. People need to know that the possibilities are endless. People need to know that there are no limitations, and people need to know that it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what you did in the past, or what you plan. None of it matters. You deserve it. It's your birthright, and you can have it. So come back next week. We'll have another wonderful guest talking about more amazing stuff and ways that you can uplift yourself and someone else too. So thank you once more, Kamal, for joining
Thank
us.
you.
It was a pleasure. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're
Same here. I
welcome.
enjoyed it, and love you all. Keep up the good work, and reach out if I can help you with anything, and have an amazing, amazing rest of your week. And just take action. Take action.
Yes, definitely.
Love it.
Agreed. Take action. So until next week, guys, see you then, and enjoy your week, and take action. Believe in yourself. It's all possible, and we love you. Enjoy.
We love you.
Bye.
Enjoy. Bye-bye.
Thanks again, Kamal.
Yes, absolutely.